driving. So listen, I know it's dangerous, but whatever. I'm always studying now about narcissism and everything, and just trying to always measure myself on the spectrum. I dealt with a narcissist for 8 years straight, and it was a hard mental, spiritual, and physical battle, right? So a lot of things that stood out about him that made me miserable. I used to always want to check myself and make sure that I'm not ever projecting that type of energy, because I don't ever want to make nobody feel the way that he made me feel, right? So a huge situation happens, changes my life, potentially could have changed me mentally forever in the worst way, but it didn't. So I had about 2 or 3 therapy sessions, and I went to see the therapist, I think maybe the second or by the third time I went to see the therapist. Okay, y'all, I had to gloss them lips. Whew, them motherfuckers was crack-lacking. Okay, so by the third time I went to go and see the therapist finally asked me, she said, what did she say? What is it about, I don't remember what she asked me, but this is what stood out. She asked me a question about myself, and I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something like, what do you do when you feel exhausted? Or it was something like that, where I really was supposed to be analyzing myself, my own feelings and my own emotions. That's how I was supposed to answer the question. But what I would say is, every time he. So I guess by the third session, she picked up on the fact that I rarely ever thought about myself or put myself first, or analyze my own feelings and emotions. He was always at the forefront of every decision that I had made, even when it came down to myself and how I felt. And that shit shocked the fuck out of me. Okay? So I had to think about that. And she was so right. I had realized that, a part of the narcissistic trait is the forcing of persuasion, always trying to persuade me to feel things, and then always bossing me around or telling me that, or he would always boss me around and tell me his needs and necessities, in the most bully way, and will persuade me to believe or to feel like whatever it is that he needed to do was important and what I need to do was stupid or unimportant. Okay, but all I remember is every time I needed to do something or wanted to do something or thought about something, he always came into play first. His thoughts, his ideas, and it would always hinder me and keep me from being able to move forward in the way that I really actually wanted to. And I settled for that for a long time, not realizing that was the nature and the pattern of our relationship. After I got up out of that relationship, I decided that I wanted to get to know myself better. Put myself through therapy and really explore how I had been feeling for a long time. So I ended up staying single for a long time. I really felt like I needed about as much recovery from the relationship as I needed to be out of a relationship as long as I was in a relationship. Or, I was scared that I was going to be too angry in the next relationship or be a burden. Or, I had barely gotten myself together because I was always trying to take care of me and him. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it was just a terrible mess, y'all. I'm not ashamed of my past, but when I look back, I'll be like, boo, you were so fine. How did you let this? All right, let me get back on topic. So anyway, fast forward to today. After spending so much time with myself, by myself, making peace with everything that at one point in time made me sad, made me cry, made me angry, just making peace with that shit, understanding myself, where it was coming from, and then giving myself permission to feel, and giving myself permission to feel whatever the emotion was, whether it was sad, upset, angry, jealous, whatever. I gave myself permission to feel how I felt, and then I analyzed how I felt. And I just got into this habit of studying myself and then wanting to get this really introspective view and perspective of myself. And I wanted to figure out what the hell type of woman I was in order to end up with a man like that. Right? So after a while, I was like, why me? Oh my God, I'm so unlucky. And then I had thought about some of the girls that he had cheated on me with. And I was like, oh my God, they so lucky. They just got it and got away. Like, I don't know what it was about me, my perception of life in the world, my thoughts, my point of view that made me feel like that was a situation that I needed to be in. I do not know, y'all. And so because I felt like I was so stupid and so young and so naive and so dumb, I spend a lot of time preaching all the time because you never know when you are standing beside somebody who is in that place and in that space. And I swear, if I can just give you, baby, a little hint of light, a little sprinkle if you're feeling dehydrated, I don't know, a little light if you too deep into the darkness, should throw you a raft if you sinking. Like if I can give you anything to help you to escape so that you can find your greater good, your purpose, and your self-pride, I'm here for it all day. That's why I talk about myself so much, and I always talk about me. Because at the end of the day, I know that I could never impose my thoughts or ideas on you. I can't give you or anyone my experience. I can't show you, all I could do is talk about my experience, talk about what I have been through, what seemed impossible, what hasn't been, what I've overcome. All I could do is try to give some hints and some clues that there is an escape and it is possible. Look at me. Hi, this is what I have to do for myself in order to get through it, right? So that's my mentality now. That's kind of how I move, even when I'm around young girls, because now that I'm older and much more mature, I've experienced a lot more life. I've seen some cycles happen over and over again for me to understand that this is kind of how shit is, so sometimes I tend to be a little preachy, but anyway, the whole point was I went from never thinking about myself in a good way to always now thinking about myself and putting myself first. So now I study myself on the narcissistic spectrum, because I'm like, okay, now I'm all me, right? But I have learned after all of that time that I spent in that relationship, all the time that I spent by myself and outside of a relationship, and even now being new to a relationship, that there really is a healthy balance. And if you don't find your happy medium, if you don't know how to stand up for yourself, be strong within your views, but not be disrespectful to anybody else, not feel like you have to impose your ideas. You have to be true internally to who you are, because if you are, it doesn't matter if someone else agrees with you or not. That's not the important thing. Now, when you're talking about a partner, it matters if you two agree with each other or not, because you want to get on the same page, right? However, it shouldn't matter to the point to where someone is compromised down from their spirit to their physical, mental. Nobody should have to be compromised. People need to understand that everybody have different values, morals, and they have different ideas, opinions, perspectives. Everybody has had different experiences that have made them see the world that they see, the world the way that they see it, and everybody have developed all these different coping mechanisms. Yeah, man. One thing I figured out when it came down to my ex is that he has some huge abandonment issues. He had some mommy issues because he didn't like, it was something about the imagery of his mother that he saw in me, and it was crazy. Like, of course, because I was stuck in the cycle and the situation, I had to start studying and like figuring out how to outsmart the demon that had taken him over. I had to get really witty. I had to get smart. I went deep. I started studying everything. I was trying to make sense of how the hell we even came to be today. I went deep, okay? You learn that people have these different issues and these different ways of coping, and sometimes you're not going to see eye to eye with those people, but you can try to preserve the relationship. You can try to preserve the relationship by thinking about what's most important. If you can't come to an agreement with someone that you're trying to partner with, or someone that you want to have some type of respect for or whatever, if you can't come to an agreement, you have to decide that it's not about me being right. It's about me preserving this relationship. It's about me not compromising our union. It's about me not wanting you to feel hurt. It's about me not wanting you to value me less. It's about me wanting you to continue caring about me and respecting me. Therefore, I care about you and respect you enough to not take the disagreements to this level. You know what I'm saying? To me, you can care about yourself and your views and your thoughts as much as you want to, and not have to compromise them, but you don't have to, it doesn't have to be a war. It doesn't have to be all the way left or all the way right. We have to find the balance. So there was that part of me that didn't care about me enough, and then there was that part of me that cared about me too much. So I think that once we get to a good place where we can find our balance, of course our values and our morals are internal, but let go of the need to feel important out loud. Does that make sense? I've grown up and I've been on Facebook for 10 or 12 years, and now that I've matured and I see the newer people coming up, and I'm looking at the content and all the crying out and all the desperation, all the hurt. Now that I'm seeing all that, I can't help but assess myself and look back at even at some of my own content and be like, damn, was this me? Did I sound like this? I also remember some of the things that I was going through, so I can easily recognize that shit when I see it. So it's like, I don't know, ew. I'm ready to close a whole chapter of being outwardly angry, outspoken, and I don't know. It's just, you find out that you're not that special. You're not.